Hello, welcome to Access. I'm Nathan and I'm here with Dave.
Hello.
Dave, it's another 5 things.
Yeah.
Today, 5 things that I still love, we still love, about Resident Evil. And what we're playing today is, what you can see in front of you, what I have been to play recently, thanks to Capcom, is the Resident Evil. It's the first one, but it's a remake, and it's an HD remake of the HD remake.
This looks amazing.
I know, it looks really good.
It's so Resident Evil, but also so, like, new and shiny.
Basically, this video, the 5 things that I've pulled out are about going back to... We always talk about how memories are, you know, like you remember stuff better than it was.
Yeah.
This is basically how I remember Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Although maybe even just a little bit better. And the weird thing is, I'm going to go on straight on to point 1. Straight on, he says, having talked for a minute. And it's the thing that does your mind in, because it looks so good. You're like, oh, it's just a game. I'll play it. Maybe not like a top of the range PlayStation 4 game now, but it looks amazing.
Yeah.
And then you just realise the fixed camera angles is number 1. I love the fixed camera angles. There's one coming up here in this graveyard that you're going to see in just a second. And you're using the right stick immediately because you think, oh, it's a modern game. I'll just play it. And then you can't move it with the right stick, and it does your brain in for a bit. And then you remember, I'll just let the game tell me a story through where it's putting the camera every time that I, go across the screen. And it's like moving through a haunted house. It's brilliant. Look at this. Look at this now.
It's so atmospheric, isn't it?
Nate.
Because of it.
Oh,
look at that. That's
bit.
great.
That's the bit I like.
I will end up walking into a wall at that point, and I'll just turn and start walking.
I think if you wanted to, you could cut in some shots of me doing exactly that, because you have to hold down the direction that you are walking in, and then the game is smart about it. But so that's number 1, Dave. Fixed camera angles, really giving you that curated cinematic feel. Yeah. Number 2. Can you guess what number 2 is?
No.
It's the mansion.
Oh, yes.
Well, I was going to do... Basically, the mansion is just... I mean, you run there at the beginning. It's amazing. Like, you just... Let's go to the woods. Why? Well, there's some stuff happening. Okay, let's go. Wait, there's dogs. Are they zombie dogs? Yes. Let's run to this mansion. And then you're inside the mansion, and it's like... So... there's something archetypal about having a horror movie set in. Just... It is, because I say it's like a haunted house. It is a haunted house. It's literally a house... It's not really... It's infested. It's an infested house.
Yeah.
And all the secrets that you find in it. There's something about a place, but really, like, this stands out in my mind as like one of the best settings ever of a horror game.
It is really iconic, isn't it? And we've seen like in the Evil Within recently, like gone back to the mansion.
It's basically, and the layout is like, oh, a grand staircase, and you can go both ways.
Yeah,
it's interesting. Oh, two doors down on either side on the ground floor.
A mansion empty is so eerie as well, because it's such a big place. It's sort of like it's so grand, and it's money here.
And
but
there's a story on the walls. There's paintings.
Yeah,
there's
that's a good
stuff
point.
in the drawers. Stuff that this looks so. It looks so good.
I have a question, Nathan. When you might not know that I'm terrified of all things, and when I played Resident Evil, the original one, the first thing I did was try and walk out the front door.
I didn't try.
You didn't try?
No. Well, one of the first things you have to do in this, as in the original Resi, is you find an arrowhead and you walk into a grave.
Yeah.
Go under the ground, so that's quite scary. It's probably scarier than going out the front door. I'm moving straight along. Well, let's talk about that, because number 3, Dave, is simply keys.
Oh, yeah.
Keys. But really what I mean by keys is this whole system of 20 years ago or 15 years ago, just the logic of puzzles and how different they were. So I was exploring this house and I just totally forgot, man, and it brought back, like, we all talk about how gaming from then is, we're going to be doing loads of stuff on PlayStation memories, and like as we move up to the first birthday of PlayStation 4, so up on the channel we've been thinking about this stuff anyway, about how gaming used to be in the 90s. And one of the things was, you go up to different doors in Resident Evil and it would say the lock has got like a sword on it, the lock has got a helmet on it, like just like branded keys, and then you'd go and find a key and be like, it's the wrong key. Or if you got the right key, you'd be like, oh man, where did I see the lock with a sword on it? I'm gonna have to go and try and find it somewhere. And I just love, and even now, like you can see one of the things that I'm doing on screen is trying to push a statue off a broken top floor balcony so that it can smash on the ground and I can get the thing out of his hand, instead of just like standing up there and grabbing the thing out of his hand, smashing an entire statue. And I love that logic. It's insane. And like, it used to lead for hours. You just be like, oh, how can I maneuver this thing so that there's not properly real world straightforward logic.
I used to love finding a key for a door that you hadn't yet found as well. That was like winning. It's like, I can't wait to find the door, because I'm in there now.
I know, the horizons of possibility are stretching out in front of me. Keys. Number 4, related to keys, inventory management. I know it's a big one. Basically, I like the noises.
I've forgotten about this, actually. This is something from the past, inventory management. Now I like things to be organised.
Yeah.
But you only have a certain number of blocks, don't you? And
I know.
You have to arrange things.
Well, I tell you something that happened to me when I was playing Resident Evil Day.
Yeah.
Got some green herb.
Lovely.
Very pleased about
Healthy.
that. Yeah, ate it or whatever. The modern Resi, I believe, because I had to go on the very latest one as well, you can press it into a spray.
Oh, right. That's nice.
Which seems very scientific, but this one I assume
Trek.
I rubbed it on myself,
Yeah.
or I ate it, and then I picked up a red herb.
Like a dock leaf.
Yeah, exactly. Although that's actually they don't work. I don't want to break that. That's psychosomatic. Sorry, but yeah. So I found it, and then I found a red leaf, and I was like, I'm going to mix these bad boys together.
Yeah.
I'm going to come up with some mixed herb,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to feel really good.
Yeah.
I couldn't though because I didn't have a space in my inventory for
the
the
third
mixed.
space.
Yeah, exactly. So I couldn't just put it all on the floor and do it. To do it in my pockets. But so it's the noise, and again. The logic defying, but it's a puzzle. It's part of the game.
It does add to the horror, though, doesn't it? It's like,
Yeah, it really does.
I can't take everything. I want all of these things. I'll feel safe with all of them.
And also, you reminded me, it does add to the horror because I remember not just the noise because I like the noise, but the franticness of the noise, because you go really fast, really super. There we go. Look, there's my thing. Really super quickly through everything. So that was number 4. Number 5. It's very specific. I was going to say something about the characters because you can play as the new versions of them, or as versions. The versions from Resi 5, 6, the newest one that they feature in. Sorry, I basically haven't played Resi since this game, really. Resi 2.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not that. So scrap that. The number 5 is the way that the doors open.
Right.
Which I think it makes it more obvious now. That you have, because it's like a transition system. I think it goes with the way that you move through the world, like I said, like the cinematic angles and the way that it makes you go through the house a particular way, the way they make you look at it a particular way. And the doors are, they don't need the doors as loading screens anymore. That's obvious, and I think that's obviously that's originally why they were there. But the way that they work in your mind, obviously the first thing is tension, you know, and sometimes they half open, and then they open all the way, and sometimes there's a creepy noise.
Yeah.
And there's always just that second of anticipation, but also the way that loads of the doors are different, and they make you you remember where you are and where you're going, even in sections of the game when you're lost, because of the way that it makes you focus on the doors.
That is a nice point, actually. Yeah, the doors for navigation and the way that they have been designed. They're not just Gennaro door.
Yeah,
6
exactly.
Every time.
Yeah, no, it's great, and again, it reminds you that Resi, it's a long-running series which people, if they're not me, are still playing today.
Yeah.
But there's current Resi games which are top-line games, and it's survived for so long. It's one of the few series which has really endured, and it shows you it's come from a completely different time of gaming when the industry was totally different, and games could be made by 12 people. And the logic that was behind those games and the systems that were in them was totally different. And have we really gained so much, Dave?
I just don't know.
That's what the animation of the door should all make us think about.
Yeah.
So I love it. Anyway, it's brilliant. It's out. I believe it's out early next year. Don't quote me on that. Okay. But we're going to have a little bit more on the Resi Revelations 2 as well next week in time for Halloween.
Excellent.
Excited about that. But yeah, I played this. I loved it. Took me a little while to get used to it, and then once I was in, I was in.
Yeah.
Everyone can go get excited and play this when it comes out. Enjoy Halloween, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. Let us know what you like about the original Resident Evil in here, or at stretch Resident Evil 2, but not Resident Evil 3 because I didn't like it as much. Leave those for us in the comments. Do like this video if you've enjoyed me and Dave talking about this game, and subscribe to PlayStation Access. We've got a ton of amazing stuff coming up for you over the next few weeks.